One additional thing we can do here, if this looks a little confusing, we could do something like this. We could say result here equals num1 minus num2, and I think this might look cleaner, especially if you're just getting started, and we return the result. So we're going to do the same thing here. We can say result num1 plus num2, return result. So I've added an additional line to each function, but it's a little cleaner of what's happening. And you're going to notice that I have result here, here, and here. This brings up a couple different topics that we kind of need to cover quick. For our purposes here, let's start with this. So we assign num1 minus num2 to result, which 50 minus 5 would be 45, and then we return 45 from here. So 45 gets assigned here. Same concept as we were doing earlier, we just assigned this to result before we returned it, just to make it a little more clear what's happening. The other thing I wanted to talk about is declaring result in all these spots and what kind of issues that could have. So in order to see these issues, we can actually, let's get rid of these for now. We'll comment these out. So highlight them, control /, and then up here, let's just do this. Result equals 5, and then fmt.print ln, yep, that one, result. Of course, this will be 5, but what happens if I do this? Now what happens? Result equals 13. Well, first off, this is red. No new variables on the left-hand side of this. So this is saying once we've declared result as 5, we can't reassign it like this to 13. We would have to say this, result equals 13. So this is the initial assignment, and then if we want to reassign it to a different number, we would say result equals 13. So now result is no longer 5. We initially stored 5 in result, but now we're saying, nope, changed our minds, we're going to store 13 in result. If we run it, we should get 13 at the bottom. Yep, we get 13. Now that will cause some issues. Let's talk about these down here now. So that could cause some issues. If you weren't aware that you reassigned it to 13, you would be expecting 5, but yeah, of course you reassigned it here, so you get 13. So just something to think about. We could reassign it again like this, and now we're going to get result as 7 because we reassigned it here, here, and here. Now where do all these come in? So we also assign result here, but the thing is there's this thing called scoping in Go, and if we assign result up here in main, we don't have to worry about assigning result down here in subtract numbers. This result has no effect on the result up in main. This is in a different scope, it's called. Same with add nums. This result won't affect either of these other two words result, these declarations, because it's in its own scope. Basically we can think of a scope as in its own brackets like this. So if it's in its own brackets, you're probably okay, especially with these functions. So result here has no effect on the result variable here, has no effect on the result variable here. If however we were to reassign result here and do something like result equals 500, then no matter what this is, we're always reassigning to 500 and we're returning 500 from add nums. So you have to be careful about reassigning these variables, which is why I'd recommend probably not reassigning variables unless you have to.